Saddle up, Denver, because the league basically just gift-wrapped the most massive offseason advantage the Broncos have seen in a decade. Yet, the mainstream media is completely sleeping on the magnitude of what this actually means. We are witnessing a financial explosion that could totally shift the conference power dynamic, overhaul our attack, and unleash Bo Nix's full power for a serious redemption tour. It is the specific type of shift that transforms a wildcard hopeful into a legitimate title favorite instantly, far beyond mere speculation or hopeful thinking. We are dealing with concrete facts unfolding in the mile-high city at this very moment. But first, I need you to handle something briefly. For those who recall Elway launching rockets or Von Miller hoisting the Lombardi, smash that thumbs-up button to represent your loyalty. If your veins truly run with that classic orange and blue, drop a comment saying "Go Broncos," because this upcoming chapter is approaching at breakneck speed. Okay, let us dissect precisely how Denver secured this colossal advantage over 31 other teams and exactly what that signifies for the depth chart, the coaches, and our odds of finally returning the Lombardi Trophy to its rightful home. League officials stunned everyone by raising the salary cap a staggering $35 million, significantly exceeding every front office's initial projections. Consequently, franchises like ours might suddenly find themselves operating with upwards of $10 million beyond expectations, bolstering a squad that was already sitting on $35 million in room before this announcement. This propels the organization into an elite fiscal tier, granting anywhere from $35 to $45 million in pure spending power. Here is the best part. We are not discussing a desperate roster trying to plug leaks. We are looking at a squad that arguably would have played for the title had Bo Nix not suffered that ankle injury, a fact even rival fan bases admit. Essentially, the front office is now gambling with pure profit. The challenge is not repairing a broken machine, but rather taking a championship-ready engine and making it absolutely lethal. Discussions now center on whether to prioritize a pass catcher or a ball carrier, and if those assets should come via the open market or rookie selection. This is precisely where the brilliance of Sean Payton and general manager George Paton becomes the deciding factor. Having demonstrated an uncanny ability to find talent, they now possess the war chest to execute their vision. Starting with the receiving core, the reality is that available talent in free agency appears surprisingly thin. Although veterans like Mike Evans or Deebo Samuel carry name recognition, they do not fit our current timeline, being either aged or less impactful. Even if George Pickens is a monster, reports suggest the Cowboys will slap the franchise tag on him, preventing any bidding war. This is the point where the scenario becomes fascinating regarding potential trades. One specific superstar demands attention. A.J. Brown, whose route-running precision and talent for getting open remain unrivaled. Simply watching the film confirms everything you need to know. He routinely dominates elite coverage, generating separation our current squad lacks, and putting him alongside Sutton and Mims would create a nightmare. Picture Sutton facing number 2 corners while Mims roams free because Brown demands double teams. It elevates our entire attack instantly. Admittedly, acquiring a talent like Brown brings certain character concerns and a $22 million price tag. Yet Sean Payton excels at handling strong personalities within a culture of strict discipline. If any organization can integrate a player of his caliber successfully, it is undoubtedly this franchise. Furthermore, our financial maneuvering room allows us to restructure his contract, minimizing the initial hit. Conversely, a segment of the fan base has suggested making a play for Justin Jefferson. Although he is a generational player, the economics are illogical, given his massive salary requirements likely exceeding $38 million. Past seasons demonstrate that hoarding receiver talent does not automatically ensure a championship run. One only needs to examine the recent fates of the Bengals, Vikings, and Eagles. Squads loaded with perimeter talent often stumbled or missed the postseason, whereas Buffalo nearly advanced despite lacking a legitimate primary target. Therefore, emptying the vault for Jefferson might generate headlines, but it is likely strategically unwise. This leads us directly to the backfield discussion, which is where the situation becomes truly electrifying. Free agency is currently overflowing with youthful, dynamic runners, such as Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, and Travis Etienne. Each of these athletes would flourish under Sean Payton's scheme, and with our budget, signing one is a very real possibility. The ultimate choice hinges on whether the coach believes he can find similar value in the rookies or prefers a verified veteran. Regardless of the path chosen, the organization possesses both the alternatives and the capital to execute. Regarding the rookie selection process, there is another silent victory for us. We are projected to gain at least 2 compensatory selections. One compensatory pick for Javonte Williams, Another for Riley Dixon. Seemingly minor assets. Yet history proves legendary icons often emerge from these overlooked selection rounds. This reality hits harder when you consider the pedigree of a front office like Denver's, a group that consistently demonstrates an uncanny knack for unearthing gems late in the process. More lottery tickets simply increase the odds of a jackpot. However, the fascination with this offseason extends beyond the roster. The upheaval within the coaching staff is equally riveting. Sean Payton executed a ruthless shakeup, severing ties with his trusted, long-term lieutenants Joe Lombardi and Pete Carmichael. Terminating coaches who stood by his side for decades was likely agonizing. Yet it stands as definitive proof that Sean is committed to evolution. He refuses to rest on past glories, actively modernizing his scheme for the future and, crucially, for the development of Bo Nix. We cannot ignore the visible irritation the rookie displayed last year whenever the play calls dragged and the clock ticked down. Moments where he was practically screaming to accelerate the tempo highlight exactly why bringing John Morton back into the fold is vital. Having previously served under Payton, Morton proved his worth during the Bills matchup by suggesting a highly effective concept from his tenure in Detroit. Fusing that established trust with a progressive, forward-looking mentality might be the precise catalyst this offensive unit requires. Even more thrilling is the news that Davis Webb, a rising star in the industry, withdrew his name from the Raiders' hiring process. Precisely, he opted to remain in the Mile High City, wagering on this squad's title aspirations instead of chasing a lackluster promotion with a rival. When brilliant tactical minds like Webb and Vance Joseph decide to stick around, it broadcasts a deafening message of confidence in the roster and the victories looming on the horizon. This is where the narrative becomes truly explosive. Broncos country. Armed with massive cap flexibility and a team that barely missed a deep playoff run, George and Sean Payton aren't idly waiting for fortune to strike. They are maneuvering their pieces across the board with the foresight of grandmasters. Each offseason choice bears the heavy burden of expectation, yet offers a golden chance to transform a strong contender into an absolute juggernaut. View this strategically. Acquiring a premier back like Travis Etienne in free agency secures not just a runner, but a versatile offensive arsenal. Etienne destroys defenses in open space, snags receptions from the backfield effortlessly, and perfectly suits the high-octane modern system Sean Payton is constructing for Bo Nix. Inject him into a capable running back room, and suddenly the ground game gains dimensions that terrify defenses, creating massive play-action lanes and nightmare matchups. Conversely, selecting a cost-effective rookie runner allows Denver to funnel significant financial resources into other critical areas, perhaps investing in a dominant defensive tackle or a seasoned offensive guardian to ensure Bo Nix remains vertical and composed within the pocket. Never forget Sean Payton's legendary track record of molding late-round unknowns into superstars, proving that fame isn't the only metric for success. It comes down to how each component serves the grand design. Now, consider the raging debate over wide receivers. A.J. Brown might bring drama, but his dominance is undeniable. His blend of size, velocity, and precision would instantly make him Denver's most lethal threat. As noted, possessing that level of gravitational pull on the perimeter liberates every other playmaker on the field. Courtland Sutton would absolutely feast on single coverage as the number 2 option. Marvin Mims would find open grass downfield, while tight ends could exploit the massive voids left by distracted defenders focusing on Brown. Executing a blockbuster trade for A.J. Brown represents more than a talent upgrade, it is a declaration of intent. It announces to the entire NFL that the Broncos are finished with merely hoping to scrape into the postseason. They are hunting the AFC throne and the Lombardi Trophy itself, all by constructing an impregnable fortress around Bo Nix. This means going beyond physical protection to gift him an arsenal of elite weaponry for his sophomore breakout. Circling back to the staff changes, we must recognize the sheer audacity of Sean Payton's strategic maneuvers. Dismissing loyal allies like Joe Lombardi and Pete Carmichael went far deeper than standard business operations. It marked a radical philosophical pivot, demonstrating that Payton is reinventing the offensive war room to stay ahead of the curve. Rehiring John Morton is a masterstroke. His intimate knowledge of the system fused with fresh Detroit insights provides a cutting-edge advantage. He is a combat-proven leader who understands the roster and delivers when the pressure hits the red line. Yet, retaining Davis Webb might just be the most underrated victory of the entire winter. Despite legitimate overtures from the Raiders, he bypassed a promotion to double down on the vision being built here. That speaks volumes about the energy at Dove Valley. Webb is staking his career on this squad, taking the crown. And really, who can blame him? He witnessed this team's grit up close, even before Bo Nix hit his absolute peak. Throw Vance Joseph into the equation, and you instantly have two heavyweight leaders stacking the deck inside that building. Both are starving for a ring and completely obsessed with turning Denver into the sport's supreme power. They did not stay for the easy check. They remained because they know a massive championship run is imminent. Here is the terrifying reality. This organization is weaponized for immediate victory and long-term reign. A lethal young passer, a genius front office, and a staff that never stops adapting to the game. That is more than a playoff ticket. That is the exact schematic for an era of unshakable dominance. Rivals should be shaking because this team isn't just rebounding. They are arriving with a vengeance.